Oh, hello. Welcome back to the channel and to another supplemental episode. Yeah, I'm a very modest person. When I write my own applications, I just put it in a supplemental rather than into the general series. Okay, so what have I been doing with myself the last few days? Well, I've been looking at some little utilities that I wrote years ago, and I've been having a look at them, making them a bit more efficient, making them a bit easier to use, and I've packed them all into a single download, which you can find here, and it's called Apprentice, short for the Graphic Wizard's Apprentice, and it's all little graphical front ends to Graphics Magick. If you don't know Graphics Magick, it's similar to Image Magick. It's a command line program which can manipulate graphics. I know Lil Doran has a similar app on his repo that uses Image Magick. So I decided to go with Graphics Magick for this one. Right. So don't worry about this address, I will put it in the show notes. Let's see what it does. So you download it. Obviously I've done that already. Here it is. Not a very big upload because it's all in source code anyway. Alright, so, and double click to install it, usual way, and it'll say you need YAB, you need HDialog, and you need Graphics Magick. And then what you get here is an app called Apprentice. Now this is a placeholder. I'm going to write something a little more professional for that in the next version or the one after that. I just want to make sure that I know which of these I'm going to keep and which more ones I'm going to write. Okay, so I've got a little graphic here which I got from Wikimedia Commons. Hello, Mr. Han, you're about to become famous. Alright, let's just copy that to the desktop so we can work on that while keeping the original. So let's turn that photograph into a charcoal sketch. Select it, click on OK. And there we are. So you see we can change the line thickness. Right, and let's try this one. Do it. Yeah, that'll work. And now you can save this as the default. So every time you call up this little applet, it'll start with that setting. Default save, the thickness of 4. Okay. So now you click on Do It. Let's just revert that. And you can view it to see how it came up rather than having this little thumbnail. So what you see here is that it doesn't work on your original file until you save it, right? It works on a temporary copy. So let's save it. You can use save or save as. Save it. Now, unfortunately, Haiku does not automatically update the thumbnail. There must be a way to force thumbnail redraws. I haven't found it yet. So if you know how to do it, please let me know in the comments. But it has indeed been done. Okay, so now we can just close that. Let's add a border. Let's make it black. No, let's make it white. Yeah, this seems to be okay. Do it. Save. And again, we can have a quick look. Something went wrong here. It's got these black borders outside the white borders, but okay. Let's see what happens if we now raise that border. Let's do it. I think I want that a little more. Revert. Yeah, that looks good. And save. Right, you can also do all of this from the menus. However, I'm not sure that I will keep these menus. They take up a bit of space. And we can close it. Now let's look at the final. Okay, you would still want to pull this into a bitmap editor and get rid of these little black borders. Still, it's quite a bit of change there. See? Remember, this was the original. You see the black borders were in there already. Okay, so the other thing you should realize is that if you suddenly realize, oh, I opened the wrong one, just drag and drop. This is a much bigger photo, and so okay, well, this is a pretty good picture already. It didn't take much enhancement, but sometimes that can really make things pop a little. Alright, let's close that down. Oh, it's still working. It's still working. Because it's... You'll remember I'm in a virtual environment here, so it really would be a lot faster. I can always close it down from here. Right. So the other thing that I've put in here is that you can also, okay, before I do that, this one keeps coming up after you've closed down an applet, an applet. So right at the bottom here, Exitus Programmers. And if you've been following Harry Potter, you'll get the joke. Okay, so okay, we won't need you anymore. So let's move that to trash. Put the original back here. So the other thing you can do is run this, all of these applets from the terminal. Now, when run from the terminal, they work a little more different, right? So if we run this now, you see save defaults and all these other buttons are now grayed out, and you only have do it. And it will do it and then save that file back onto itself. Also, there's no tab, just to remind you. So if we have a look at it now, and so that allows you to just, you can make a whole series of these things in a shell script, and if you have 10 or 20 or 100 of these things, you can program them in to all go through the same sequence of changes. So if you have a lot of little square graphics that you want to turn into buttons, then first you would set the color and the thickness and save that as defaults. Then you would do the same thing with the raised border, and then you can just run them through from the script. All will use the same defaults. Now you can all do that with Graphics Magick itself, you know, but this is a slightly more modern way of doing things, right? So all you do is keep clicking do it, and it'll save back onto itself and get ready for the next transformation. Okay, so that's it. Please experiment with my little app, and I'll let you know when there's an update.